taps with you as we bring us more and more of that as events unfold. But Millicent, you want to take us to Kaduna State?
Indeed. I'm not the one taking us.
Okay.
We're all going together. We're going to Kaduna. Our correspondent is standing by, Emperor Simon. Loads of things. We went to Kaduna shortly before, where we spoke to another correspondent of ours in your chair, Chimeze, giving us an update. But then let's go over to Emperor Simon. Emperor, give us the latest in Kaduna.
Yeah, thank you very much, Millicent, and good morning. We're here at the INEC State Headquarters in Kaduna, the capital of Kaduna State, where, of course, all expectations are high that collation of results will start any moment. But right now, nothing is happening. INEC has said that collation will start by 10 a.m. owing to the fact that results from the local government INEC offices are yet to arrive. But while we are here, we've seen a couple of INEC officials you know, from the local government areas, electoral officers and polling, collation officers coming in one after the other with results in their hands. And that shows that there is a bit of progress in terms of the collation process. Of course, we know that some wards are still collating results, as reported by my colleague Chimeze earlier on, that some local governments some wards in Kaduna South, for instance, are still collating results. Kaduna has 255 polling, wards, and then 8,012 polling units. So results from these 8,012 polling units are expected to go to the 255 wards, and then to the 23 local government areas. So that's what we expect to happen. We're still here at the collation center and waiting, Millicent.
Emperor, when you look at, what, Nigerians now know, that is IREV, and we've been speaking about that. IREV is updated, and so far we can see that even for Kaduna and IREV at the moment, it says the number of results uploaded are about 83%. So in terms of the number of persons you're seeing coming in, for that, to that collation center, what's the number, and then how much more do Nigerians, especially those who are interested in the results coming in from Kaduna, how much longer do they have to wait?
Millicent, we do not have that information with regards to how long voters are expected to wait. Of course, they are very, very expectant and waiting patiently for the outcome of the election. Now, let me just give you a perspective of what we witnessed yesterday in some of the polling units that we went. The fact is that from our observation yesterday in some of the polling units, there is a bit of low turnout of voters, low participation in these general governorship and state assembly elections, where, for instance, in one of the polling units, there were registered voters of 1,507 registered voters, but only less than 200 came out to exercise their franchise, and that's quite perhaps discouraging in a state where you have more than 4.3 million registered voters, but the turnout of voters yesterday was something quite disappointing in some polling units. So we do not yet have information as to when INEC will begin collation. They have said 10 a.m. today, and if you check your time right now, it's just a few minutes away from 10. But the collation center, maybe we will just try to just move a bit slowly towards the collation center. Some minutes ago, the collation center was still locked. It was shut down because of inactivity. But right now, they've just opened it, but nothing is happening inside. That's the collation center behind me, with security personnel manning it and ensuring that, to ensure that there is no breach in law and order. So nothing has happened inside there. We haven't even seen INEC officials yet, their presence, not to talk of monitoring monitoring groups or observer groups coming to monitor the process. As far as we're concerned, right now, only Channels Television is Channels Television is the media that is currently at the collation center. No media organization has arrived yet. Millicent.
Just a few questions. Just a few questions for you. I know that you just mentioned low voter turnout, and if you do the analytics in terms of the economics and the costs, it's quite expensive to organize elections, and when people don't turn out, it's a lot of loss for our national commonwealth at the end of the day, because ballot papers would have been printed for all of these elections, and literally they've gone to waste. So I wanted to find out from you, were you able to ask any of the people in the state, maybe the voters and those who didn't vote, what could be the reason for this low turnout? Is it that they are more interested in who becomes the president than who becomes the governor of the state and who runs the affairs of the state assembly? That's on one hand, because we've seen also the fact that it's quite troubling when there's low voter turnout, because it just limits the number of people that gives their mandate to whoever emerges as governor of that state. Embro?
That's quite true, because yesterday at one of the I can hear you. So I said that's quite true, because yesterday we were at a polling unit and we saw that at the end of the voting process, or at the end of voting, the polling unit officer had to strike off some ballot papers. Of course, that's what they're expected to do after voting has ended. Ballot papers that were not used are expected to be crossed to show that they were not used. And so we saw in some cases hundreds of those papers being, struck out or being cancelled in a way. So that is a waste of resources. When you look at the quantum of money that has been budgeted for INEC for the conduct of this election, you would see that it makes no sense that ballot papers are being destroyed or cancelled because they were not used. Now, coming to where the interest of the people or residents in Kaduna State here lies, we know very well that politics is local, and so one cannot really say that they are more interested in the presidential election more than they should be in the governorship and state assembly elections. So the interest is there. As a matter of fact, the first polling unit we visited, we saw voters coming out as early as 6:30, waiting for the voting to commence. And so we were expecting that momentum would be sustained, but after a few minutes that voting started in that particular polling unit, we saw that as soon as those that were on the queue had finished voting, the place became scanty. Nobody came. And so we really do not know what has happened to cause or warrant this low turnout of voters. But again, referring to what the governor had said in the interview we had with him yesterday, the fact that there were reports, of course, of voters intimidation in some parts of the state. So we're not sure if that could have also contributed to the low turnout. Again, let me also say that less than 24 hours to this election, there was a clash between the governor's convoy and members of the Shiite group that led to the death of about 5 persons, we were told. And so maybe that could have also, in a way, affected the response from the residents here in terms of coming out to vote, knowing fully well that anything could have happened.